Well, today we're going to talk about getting started. So once we've met with our clients and we've strategized and we understand who their customer avatar is, what we then get into is a very basic funnel. And I'm taking this from scratch as if somebody hasn't got a funnel. Some people do have, and we have to get into it and actually fine tune and work with what they've already got. But for this one, let's suggest that the client doesn't have a funnel to start with. So where we come in really is at the second stage, because most people will have a website, and on that website we then also talk to them about traffic. But I'm going to come back to traffic later. So really what I'm going to be talking about today is where somebody has a squeeze page or a website in place, and they've got maybe a bit of a video, they've got some content, and they've got a menu bar up here, and they've got a blog, and they're doing bits to drive some traffic and some communication anyway. And what we then do with them is we're really interested in this space here on the page really. So this is what's known as an opt-in box. And what we do with an opt-in box is we work with a client to actually put some content here which is really engaging and drives a call to action. And that call to action is around a particular piece of material which we call a lead magnet. So in terms of lead magnets, you can have a whole host of stuff. It could be a video, it could be an ebook, it could be a free plus shipping offer, which is one that we use successfully. For this exercise, we'll just say actually there is a lead magnet, and it's basically they're going to get an ebook. So what they do is they give their name and their address, their email address, and then the bit that we build is we help pop that on the site using a piece of code, and then that triggers out and will deliver via an email the lead magnet. We will then, depending on the type of business, potentially offer an upsell, and we'll come back to upsells later. And at that same point then, we actually drop into using usually Active Campaign, but we can use other systems as well, such as Infusionsoft, ClickFunnels, even just a simple MailChimp campaign, a series of emails that drop out, and these are what we call our know, like, trust emails. And what these emails are aiming to do is to get the prospect to know more about you, to get to like you, and to get to trust you. And there's various elements that we use in terms of our copywriters build in to help you achieve that. So it's using testimonials, case studies and stuff like that. Once you get to this point, if you've got a piece of direct mail you can send out, a brochure, something like that, that's really good. And we can actually get the system to give somebody a little job in terms of popping that in the post, because it's really good to use new tech with old tech as well. So what we're doing is we're using offline and online marketing to deliver this. We then drop it down into the second piece of the funnel. So we've done the know, like, trust, and hopefully pop something in the post to them. And what we're then going to do is a short series of emails in and around what we call gain, logic, fear. And this is using the background of NLP really, so neuro-linguistic programming. And what this does is what they're going to gain from working with you or using this system, or your process, or what you're selling. What they're going to gain from you, what the logic is of using it, and what the fear of missing out, or the fear of failure of not using it. And this is sort of like using some psychological techniques that actually not play on, but utilise how different people behave. Some people will buy on fear, some people will have to be very logical about why they're doing stuff, and really understand what it's about. So this is our simple funnel really. We opt them in, we deliver a lead magnet, we can have an upsell or cross-sell in there, we drop them into a know, like, trust, hopefully pop out some direct mail, and then gain, logic, fear. What we then do is build in up to 3 different channels, and I'm going to come back to those in a second as I just rub this out off the board to give us a little bit more space. So in terms of our 3 different channels, once we've got them through the know, like, trust and gain, logic, fear sequence that we talked about, what we'll then do is we'll drop them into a list within the system which we call the 52-week river. And the 52-week river is really just a pot where we can pop something out to them every week. It might be we actually send them something in the post again. It might be we send them another email. It might It might be do an email there. It might be we send them to the blog and a piece of content, or it might even be we send them a new video. But ultimately what we're trying to do is just give them a little nudge every week. Some people do this fortnightly, I know some people do it every day, but reality is once a week, once a fortnight is ideal for most businesses. And within this, what you're really looking for is a 3-to-1, or a very least 4-to-1 content versus an offer stroke sale content within the piece of material that you send them. So that's the first thing that we do, because we want to actually, once we've built this relationship with them, this is all about continued nurturing, because they might not be ready to buy from you yet. You see, most businesses actually give up trying once they've had an opportunity at about the second go of trying to contact somebody or get them to make a purchase or become a client, a customer, a patient. Whereas actually most people now, depending on the product or service, actually don't buy until point 8 or 10. So what this all does is it keeps you in the game for this piece here, where most other businesses give up too early and go home. Massive missed opportunity for them, great opportunity for you. The other thing that we do is at this point as well, and we have a team in overseas and also in the UK, but hopefully you'll have somebody, or you can talk to companies to deliver this. We'll actually create an action out of the system for somebody to pick up the phone and basically follow up. Do they want your thing? Do they want to come to your event? Do they want to become a patient? Are they ready to take the next step? And then dependent on the type of business that you are, we also drop it into a pipeline tool. Now that pipeline tool can be a separate piece of software, or within the tool that we use day to day, which is ActiveCampaign, it's actually built in. And I'll cover pipeline and because in a separate video, because that really is a big tool that works really well with dream lists, as well as actually managing this flow of where people are in your sequence. So that's how to get started.